in order to go back and finish off those enemies you missed because you used Chaos Control. This is annoying as hell. And another thing, Chaos Control has a glitch where if it stops over a pit sometimes, it won't go all the way over that pit and you'll fall to your death. Now granted, usually the game is coded so that Chaos Control will keep going until you're past the you're past the pit. But there is a glitch that will occur where you fall directly into the fucking pit. Now, the last thing to talk about during the combat, the weapons. One thing this game was built around was the fact that Shadow would be using weaponry, and depending on who you were, this was a good or bad thing. I had mixed feelings on it, and now looking back, I thought it was a stupid idea. But I dealt with it, and I can still deal with it even now. This isn't too big an issue in my opinion, as the weapons are actually surprisingly well done. Now, some of them look ridiculously large, but some of them are supposed to be that big. And there is a wide variety of weapons you can use. Besides the human weapons consist of regular pistols, to many different types of machine guns, different types of rocket launchers, some lock on, some not. And the alien weapons consist of mainly laser guns, and some melee weapons, which surprised me. There's a sword, and there's secret weapons to unlock. So Sega did take some time with this in terms of the weapons. But there's a few issues I have with the weapons too. For example, the machine guns. There's really no difference in terms of which machine gun you use. They all pretty much do the same thing. There's no noticeable difference in damage. Now, I prefer some over others, but that's usually just for how they look and not for how much damage they do. Because, like I said, there's virtually none. And the rocket launchers, I never use for the simple reason that they don't do nearly enough damage for being rocket launchers. And the ones that aren't locked on are so hard to aim, because with the machine guns, Shadow will aim it automatically. But the rocket launchers, you have to aim manually, and like I said, aiming it manually isn't worth the amount of damage you're going to get out of it, because by the time you finally aim and fire, you would have killed the enemy already using a standard machine gun. And the alien weapons are pretty much the same as the human weapons, only they fire lasers, and there's really no difference in terms of the weapons besides how they look. Once again, I must reiterate. Some weapons are better than others, like the lock-on rocket launchers are really useful. I do like those. And overall, I will give the game credit in terms of how they did the weapons, but this is a Sonic game. Why are there weapons? It's not necessary. But like I said, compared to how the game operates, the weapons are a very minimal problem with the game. The in-game cutscenes in this game are really, really poorly done. Besides the fact they're running in-game engines, so they don't look good at all. Like I said, the character models are shiny for no specific reason. Some of the character movements and some of the lip syncing, just not everything else about them, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't play out very well at all. And this cutscene will lead us into another issue of the game, the boss fights. Besides the fact that they are way too few in number, the boss fights are really aggravating in the sense that they're way too easy.
Bring it on!
Way too easy. Most of them are, anyway. There's very few that are hard at all. This one is just so pathetic. Because what you actually have to do is, there's a very simple way to beat him. Go around and kill all his little minions. Do that until your Chaos Control bar is up. Then, use Chaos Control. It works differently in boss mode. It'll slow down time around you so Shadow's running faster than everyone else, and just unload on his face! And he dies! That took like 2 seconds! And some boss fights are just annoying.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Stop saying that!
The more the merrier.
So I've gone over almost every issue I have with this game, with the exception of one. And that issue is this.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, Shadow.
Well, if it isn't Shadow.
Think you can make it down there?
Oh, it's the voice acting! Shadow the Hedgehog is the first Sonic game to be dubbed by 4Kids, and it shows, because at this time, the 4Kids voice actors had no time to improve, and they just sucked out loud. Their voices consisted from the brutally annoying,
Woohoo! Now we're talking. Bring it on!
to the just plain wrong on so many levels,
Have you tried going up?
to the really, really weird.
Find the computer room.
I cannot stand this! Like I said, at this time 4Kids had just sucked out loud. And Shadow's voice, while his voice is actually pretty good, which I'm happy for, the problem I have with him is that he seems to swear for no reason at all.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Why is swearing necessary in a Sonic game?
Damn, we've been detected.
Oh, FPL's doing it too! That's brilliant! Sonic is not a series that requires swearing. It doesn't need to be all hardcore and awesome. We got guns and swearing. We're totally awesome. This is so unnecessary! Ugh. And as for the voices, well, at least they're not all talking at the same time.
Back off, you slime balls!
What is that?
Oh my god! You didn't do this!
What is that?
Shut up! God! I hate the 4Kids voices in this game. They have improved, but back then, everyone knows. The 4Kids voice actors were just so brutal. And as for the rest of the game, it boils down, if you get all the endings, it boils down to an epic battle with Blackbeard. And I honestly had some fun at this point. Because, well, you got to use Chaos Spear, which I thought was pretty cool. They actually let you use his Chaos Arrows, which they really should have done in Sonic Next Gen. And that I will give the game credit for. It's definitely not nearly as bad as Sonic Next Gen. There are fun parts of the game. But it doesn't make up for everything else. There's so many issues I have with this game. And I have played this game and beaten it all the way through. I reserved it. I thought this was going to be good, but Sega screwed us over again with this one. They really did. Well, that's all I really have to say about this one.
Goodbye forever, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Find the computer room! Find the computer room! Find the computer room! Find the computer room! Find the computer room!
Find the Chaos Emerald.
Find the computer room!